I want to say a public thank you to Frank Usher and Donald Little, but especially Frank, who's still the guitarist in my band and still lives in Leiden. And I remember coming back here in 2004, Frankie, coming back and sitting there eating fish and chips down in Bank Street, and remembering back to those days in the Golden Lion, and remember when Marillion, when we first got together, and we came back in 1982 on the first professional tour, and we played the Galashiels College of Textiles. And it's a great honour. I never would have thought, sitting there eating fish and chips in Bank Street, that one day I would actually have my words carved in stone in this. So I want to just thank Gala, thank the town. It is a great honour, and I'm really humbled that this has happened. And it's a great space, and it'd be really nice to think that this space could actually be filled with music in the summer, and you get a wee bit of a festival vibe going on here, because it's cool. Galashiels, thank you very much for being a big part of my history.
Oh, absolutely tremendous that Fish is here today, and he really has been very helpful to us. Inscribing the words Kayleigh, very significant thing for us to do, I think, in the square, to recognise that tremendous song and what it brings and what it means to the town, and really good that Fish was able to come and play his part and spoke so well at this event.
How do you feel about the words of Kayleigh being inscribed into the pavement here at Market Square?
It's fantastic. It's really humbling. I mean, it's really hard to describe, actually. I mean, I was saying, I did my very first ever gig as a singer here in 1980 with a band called Blue It. And I remember kicking around here, and that was the dream, was being a singer. You know, like, I mean, even at that point, you never thought you were going to be involved in writing a song that was going to become as well known as Kayleigh itself. Or there was so many kids be running about the planet with the name, and so I mean, and when I was told about it, it was like, wow, that's really cool. It's really cool, and it's you know, my daughter and, you know, her kids will be able to see it someday. You know what I mean? So. But I remember, it's like the last time I was here, I remember sitting on a bench. I was sitting on a bench, I think it might have been 2004 or something. And when we did a gig here at the Volunteer, and I was sitting there eating the fish and chips on the same bench that I remember eating fish and chips on in 1982 when we came up here and did the gig with Marillion at the Galashiels College of Textiles. So I just went, this is bizarre, this is even more bizarre. It's great though. I get more accolades from Galashiels than I do from Dalkeith, you know what I mean?
And the story of Kayleigh then, tell us about that.
It's it's a difficult one. I've never revealed actually who that person was. But I mean, the song was about three different women, really in particular two. One of them was the girl that I was going out with, who was called Leslie, who came from Dalkeith, and she was the one that was at the College of Textiles, and the other one was Kay, and I met her down in Buckinghamshire. And it was really between the two, but I mean, the whole song was about the fact that, you know, I was a singer, it was the career, it was everything I wanted to, and I didn't see the 2.4 children and the wedding ring and all that. You know, I didn't see myself settle down. You know, I was just starting a new journey, and the song was kind of like an apology. You know, everything meant something, and it was all real, but it was just all at the wrong time. You know, which is, you know, by the way, didn't break your heart. You know, please excuse me.
You're always billed as Fish from Marillion, and yet you spent 7 years with the band, and a lot of water's gone under the bridge since then. Does that ever, you know, do you mind that?
It's kind of, people always referring to you as being the ex-husband of somebody. You know what I mean? I've got my own identity. I mean, you know, I think the problem's been, I mean, the fact that, you know, it's, you know, this song. I mean, neither Marillion nor myself have had anything near the kind of, the level of success that we had in 85, 86, 87. And then another thing is that when I left the band, I didn't leave the band after a duff album. I left the band after probably the best album we ever put together. I didn't want to leave. You know, I was never seen as being the rat deserting the ship. It was kind of, I walked out when it was at its peak. And I think that confused a lot of people, and that's why people always keep on going on about, you know, us getting back together again, which is, you know, a non-starter for 10, you know. And because I'm quite happy with him a lot. I mean, I've never been somebody that's been addicted to fame and money. I mean, I enjoy what I'm doing, and I've had fun. I mean, we did 180 shows in 15 months, all with the Fish Heads Club Acoustic, and it was fantastic fun. It was great. It was myself, Frank Usher for the leading, Force Patterson for Bonnerig, Rasta sound engineer, Welsh production manager selling merchandise, and we had a hoot. And I can survive, and that's what's really cool about it. But I don't like the X Factor kind of fame vibe thing. That's never been me.
Just finally, then, you had as well as Kayleigh, you had a song called Market Square Heroes. Was that about here?
No, Market Square Heroes is about Aylesbury as well. I mean, this is it. I mean, I started here, and and I did actually say. I mean, I was totally upfront. I mean, I'm not going to be burnt at the stake down here for like, you better put these words in there, and it's not even about us. I was very upfront, and I just said, look, it's about there's 2 or 3 different people in this, and it's like there is. Like I said, I mean, I actually fondly remember the night when I was dancing with a lady wearing stilettos in the snow up in the car park at Galashiels College of Textiles after one of the big dances. Oh, I remember that. And I've got a lot of fond memories of here, so I've got there's no guilt on that count, It's like I said, it's time Galashiels got twinned with Aylesbury.